Hello people, today I have with us the high grade MRX-009 Psycho Gundam. This is a very, very large kit. Probably the largest single kit that I've built. In terms of bulkiness, no. I have built bulkier kits in that White Shark, but this thing is just big. It's very, very big. I took a couple nights to build it, actually. It wasn't something that I could just slap together. I got most of it done in the first night, but I can't believe how large this guy is. I mean, it's going to be big. It's the Psycho Gundam from Zeta Gundam. But it just took me by surprise how large this guy got as I was building it. You start with the legs, essentially building up from there. The waist, then the torso. This does transform as well, so there's a lot of funky engineering in this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a transformation on this one. I don't like the transformation for the mobile armor mode. I don't think it looks good, but I will show you the articulation on this thing, which is bound to be a mess because the gimmicks on these things are incredible. So let's go ahead and try doing that right now. All right, and so I'm back here quite a long ways. As you can see my hands, this thing is just massive compared to what I usually review. Let me take this guy off and make it a lot easier. All right, we're gonna start at the head. The head has the ball joint that you normally see in a high-grade Gundam, just at the top, not at the bottom. These pivot upwards as well, which is something you don't normally see, but that is because that head actually tucks inside there and hides below. So there is a gimmick inside here where you can move this forward and push it down, like so. It locks in place by just simple friction. There's not much to it, so we're not going to mess around with that too much. So we'll leave that guy open V-fin just like he normally is. These guys here are articulated. You see it just drop down. Not much strength to those. You can see these ones flop up and down here. And then we move on to the shoulders, which are pegged in just like normal. But everything else about this is not. So we're going to go with the peg here. Just slides into a socket there. Very simple. This part of the shoulder motions up and down. These are also articulated here, so you can move this section up and down on that axis. You can rotate your arm here, and you can move your arm up and down here. There is an extension right here that is presumably for the transformation. There is a ball joint at the wrist here. It's not a ball joint, sorry. There's a small connection series inside here that connects to the inside here. As you can see, you extend that hand out. It's not necessarily supposed to. It's supposed to lock in place like so. Each one of these is on a ball joint and a hinge, so you can get a lot of motion out of those fingers, which makes posing very fun and difficult. This one is just on a ball joint. And the wrist itself is actually articulated, so you can fold it quite a lot on top of that setup inside there. This whole system also moves out. There's a joint, a flap here that opens up. That's going to help with the transformation as well. I'm going to put this back. There is no rotation at the waist here. This is a very solid setup here. You are actually able to move the skirt armor though. In fact, I think you need to for that transformation. This setup here is articulated, and that also serves for the transformation as well. So that head ends up getting covered. The side skirts are pretty substantial here. Each one of them is on its own little joint here. They are meant to go together, but it's pretty difficult to get them to cooperate. Once you put this together, I think you're pretty much set with what you want it to look like. Like, that's how it's supposed to look, stuck together like that. The hips are nothing to write home about. Big giant ball joint inside there, and a nice cup size for the joint inside there. There is a massive joint inside here, moves that one up and down. These move up and down on the leg here as well, because there's a whole bunch of joint system inside that. And then these also deploy out and fold, but they do like this. Okay, go ahead and do that right now. There's just a whole bunch of joint setups in there for the transformation. But the foot is just a simple ball joint. You can see it in here. Big cup inside there. Very basic on the joining system. The armor on the ankle isn't even articulated. And then we have, the shield. 2 ball joints inside here. That helps you mount it to the transformation when you need to do that. Pops right out. But like a ball joint, you know, you get a lot of different dimensionality. These open up and they aren't articulated, but that is something that you could see there. And then because of the way this is set up, there's actually a shield set up here too. And that has to do with the transformation as well. The mobile armor mode is very unusual looking, so maybe we'll get into that. So before I do a transformation into mobile armor mode, which I'm really not feeling, let me go ahead and do a size comparison so you guys can see just how massive this big guy is. As you see, I've pushed him against the back wall of my little diorama. Here is another high-grade Gundam for size comparison. Obviously, way smaller than what we got with the Psycho Gundam. That guy is just huge. A quite diminutive looking Alto here. Jinrai likewise looking diminutive. He comes up to his hip though. That's pretty impressive, right? Frame Arms Girl Architect looks like she could fit completely inside that thing. Bet you that would be an interesting build to do. Hexagear Governor Nero here. Very, very small compared to this thing. And here we have the biggest, baddest. That is my Master Grade Alex Gundam. Still looking diminutive compared to this thing. I took a picture before and said he's looking dainty compared to this massive, massive thing. Now, while on most big kits you do get a little bit extra, this case there isn't a lot because this one's a very specifically molded kit. There isn't anything extra on there except for the other shield holder, and this one's actually used on the setup to make the mobile armor. And you get a plug for the wrist over here where you plug in the massive shield. You also get a collection of polycaps that weren't used for this build, but they're really big, so there isn't a lot that you could probably do with them. I'll figure something out. They're going to stay in my storage, though, more than likely. So let's go ahead and see about making the transforming unit. Let's do that. I lost the last few seconds of that transformation, but I don't think you guys are going to fret too much. This is probably the worst transformation I've ever seen into a mobile armor mode. I'm also an idiot, so I don't think I did it right. Obviously, this is supposed to be covered up completely, and I don't think I was able to do that properly. The legs are very floppy underneath here, so I don't know if I did something wrong with the locking mechanisms, or if like I said, this just could be a very awful mobile armor transformation. You could see his hands through there. I don't think you're supposed to be able to. They took pictures from it from a very unique angle, like down here. So you can't really see the hands there on the picture. That said, this is an ugly thing. It's just a brick. I don't like it at all. The back looks a lot better because before this was folded down and you see a big empty gap there. You could see still the engineering with these shields there. I don't know. This is just, it doesn't look good. Even just the concept of it doesn't look good to me. So it's not that the mobile suit didn't come out together very well. It's just, this thing is very lazy and dumb. That said, it is something you can do if you work really hard at it. I think you can get it probably right where you want it to be. It's not great. It's not beautiful though. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to transform it back and we'll go ahead and finish out. I still have a little cleaning up to do on the right leg here from this angle, his right leg. But it is mostly back to normal. I think that was a very painful transformation. A lot of the transformations are pretty wonky because of how things have to go together. But this one in particular is bad, bad, bad. That is, again, my opinion. You don't have to follow my opinion. I just think that maybe it's the outcome. The outcome is what makes it bad. My opinion is it's ugly. This guy is really cool looking though. It is a massive presence. It is just huge. And this is what I was talking about with that really hollow look in the back. Guess you're really not supposed to see the back of it when it's in operation mode. Kind of cool though with the exposed legs. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And now things are going to get finicky when I'm trying to pose him because of everything that happened. All the transformation movements. I also dropped one of these, which goes on the leg. You could see when I was transforming it, I was having trouble with those. They didn't want to come out. Now that they're out, hopefully I don't lose them. Any case though, this one is a pretty expensive kit. It was $60 US, I think, when my sibling purchased it for me for my birthday. That said, it is well worth the money. If it's just a display piece, it is massive. It's not super hyper detailed, but what do you expect for a transforming suit? That is something incredible for, I mean, the price was, I think, pretty outstanding. I myself have paid a lot more for a lot less. Still, this is something I think that you guys will like. If you are a fan of massive mobile suits, something fast to build. It wasn't a long process. It's not like a real grade where you have to take your time building every little intricate detail. Things are big, bulky, and go together pretty quick. The intricacies of the transformation parts make it a little finicky on the legs. But if you've ever built a high grade before, everything here is pretty much the same as what you're going to get from one of those. It's not anything over and above the Call of Duty for building something like this. So, my conclusion is, if you like big mobile suits, this is one you have to have. If you like enemy mobile suits, this is one you have to have. If you like Zeta, this is a must. And if you like Gundam in general, it's pretty much a must. It's one of those ones that's just iconic. It's big. It's over the top. Everyone loves it. Psycho Gundam is crazy. That said, I will go ahead and let you guys go. I won't take up too much of your time today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me. More than likely, you will see my stuff. Bye-bye.